Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to Misinformation in Science and Society. Here to listen, not to judge. I'm your host Annie, and today with us we have Mariska Nell. All right, so welcome. Could you please introduce yourself a little bit and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm Mariska and I am actually an artist and a environmentalist and the host of the Mama Earth Talk podcast. So I basically create artwork from recycled materials to just like raise awareness about recycling in general and making people aware of how much waste, we actually generate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. So, what inspired you to combine your passion for art and environmentalism, and then how did you start creating recycled art and stuff like that?
Cool. Sorry, just 1 second. My dog is just barking here. Can
Okay.
I just 1 sec?
No worries.
Sorry about that. Could you please repeat the question?
Yeah, of course. So, what inspired you to combine your passion for art and environmentalism, and how did you start creating upcycle art and stuff like that?
Yeah, so basically my whole journey kind of started back in 2015, no, 16, 2016. I decided that I wanted to go and climb Kilimanjaro. So got everything ready, went and climbed, and it was such a magical experience that, I was just like, wow, nature is amazing. And then everyone was constantly saying like, oh, you should have seen how it looked like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, because, people are just like ruining everything. And that's what really got me into thinking about, wow, what am I doing that's actually making a difference for the environment? So I decided to quit my corporate job. At that time, I was still like kind of, tinkling with some of my artwork and things. And I just decided, okay, I'm just going to go full in and create more awareness by creating these, art pieces. I started by using the single-use coffee capsules, Nespresso, cleaned them out, and then created my first like lamp that was made from the recycled materials, and then just kind of grew from there. And I did more research in different materials, and I was like, wow, I didn't even know that half of that. So I kept on learning as I kept on going, and then I came to the realization that we just have so much waste. Like, if we had to take one person's waste for like 1 month, and really look at that, what would that look like? And so one of the guys I know, Rob Greenfield in the US, he actually did a challenge where he wore his waste for 30 days. And I decided, well, why don't I do that in the Middle East where I was located at that moment? And I literally had a dress made that I wore all of the trash for like 30 days. So every day I added. And by the end, so it's about 65 kilos. So in pounds, it's about 145 pounds that I was, carrying with me after the 30 days. And that just made so many people realize like, wow, that's what just one person is sending to a landfill. Because at that point, we weren't as big in recycling in that particular area where we were living, because the facilities weren't as great. But since then a lot of stuff's improved, and people are more aware, people want to recycle, people actually want to not have to recycle because they don't want to purchase the stuff in the first place. So that kind of got me started, and I got a lot of questions, people wanting to ask me, how do you recycle this? How do you actually avoid buying this? So that led me to then start the podcast to be able to answer more questions. And also when I don't have all the answers, to ask experts in the field, you know, about some of these topics as well.
Yeah, that's really cool and also inspiring work that you're doing. Um,
Thank you.
so how do you think misinformation impacts the field of sustainability, environmentalism, as well as art? And what do you think are the consequences of that?
Yeah, oh my gosh, there is just so much misinformation at the moment. A lot of it, I mean, you know, sustainability, fun fact for all of you, and I'm going to give my age away with this one. Sustainability, the word sustainability was not a word until 1987. So that's actually the year I was born. And might have been a sign, but yeah, and so people have started using the word sustainability for almost anything. You know, anything, oh, this is sustainable, this is sustainable. And, you know, in the end, it kind of lost a lot of its meaning as well, because now, you know, when people are looking at sustainable things, they, you know, they don't know what is sustainable, because a lot of greenwashing has come into place, because now companies know, okay, in order for me to make it, you know, with this new, like, more sustainable, savvy people, we need to be sustainable. But I'm not going to spend all that money to be sustainable. No, I'm just going to do a marketing campaign around what we are already doing, whether it's sustainable or not. We're just going to greenwash it, you know, go through, put a few, you know, green signs and things on it, and you can actually spot that. So I think it is definitely hard. You know, you need to be clued up on so many things in order to really see that greenwash. But I always say, like, literally just get that inner 5-year-old that's inside of you that always wants to ask questions, ask those questions. If you want to know what is inside your lip balm, for instance, go and ask those questions, because sometimes they are using very harsh chemicals that you are putting on your body every single day, but they are hiding it in the name perfume. Or, you know, they are hiding it in another name for something that, you know, might sound a little bit harsh. So I think it's a big problem. I think a lot of people are not aware of how big this problem is. And I think, but I also think there's people that's educating themselves a bit more. So definitely we are trying to, you know, kind of combat that, and also make companies more aware that, you know, hey, you can't just like greenwash a campaign and actually think that's sustainable. You actually need to put in the work, and you actually need to make it more sustainable if you want to call yourself more sustainable. If you don't want to call yourself sustainable, you know, people might get caught up on that as well. But you know, you can't do the wrong thing and say you're doing the right thing. And I think people are catching up on that, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I definitely think we need to educate ourselves, ask the questions, ask the hard questions. And you know, like many companies are also realizing that what they are doing is impacting the environment. So for instance, like with Coca-Cola, they have made a change to change their bottle caps. And I don't know if some of you guys have realized that, but they figured out that the red bottle cap that they previously used was so harmful for the environment. And also people were discovering more of these caps everywhere. And then they made the change to actually change that to another color. So it's not really that like kind of attractive for animals to want to eat that red cap as well. So I think there's a lot of movement happening in the space, but we also need to kind of, you know, as consumers, make sure that, you know, when we vote with our money, when we purchase something, that is something that's aligned with our values. And if we don't know if it's aligned with our values, it might be worth just asking that question and say, hey, before I give you my money, you know, what are you doing about this? And if they are not aligned, maybe support a company that is going that extra mile.
Yeah, for sure. So, what role do you think social media and technology play in like the spread of misinformation about like our sustainability, and also how can they be like harnessed to like promote accurate information instead?
Yeah, so here where I am currently in Australia, there has been some cases where people that are promoting stuff on social media is being held accountable for what they said. So if you are an influence on social media, and someone's paying you so much money to say something that is actually not correct, then you can, or countries are starting to hold you accountable for that as well. So that's something that we need to be aware of. And I would definitely say, if there is something that you see on Facebook or whatever social media platform it is, don't take that as that is the all grail, that is the best information that you've ever seen, because there might be incorrect facts in there. Go and have a look at reputable sources. Like, if you don't just Google or Ecosia, go onto platforms like, Google Scholar is really good for like journals that is really like, it's been vetted, it's been, checked for all the facts and everything. So you're better off getting information there, or organizations that's actually, that also needs to be accountable for what they put on. Some news agencies and things, obviously they're there to make money, they want to sell the best stories, so they might not be the best accurate news that you can get. But saying that, not everyone has time to say, okay, let's look at plastic pollution. I'm going to spend 5 hours Googling and searching for plastic solution. No one has time for that. That's the unfortunate fact. So I think there is a big role that social media play. I think, if you want to make sure you're up to date with, the latest like sustainability trends and things, maybe just make sure that you follow people that is reputable. Don't follow just like, oh, suggested, this person knows everything. No, like, do a little bit due diligence with who you are following, and like, check that out. There's many people that that does great work in that space, and I think, for them being able to share that information with a larger group of people, make them aware about certain things. And I mean, sometimes they might not share 100% accurate facts, like, that's scientifically to the T correctly, but they get the crux of it, and they're sharing that. And someone that might not have otherwise actually known that fact is now knowing that, and they are kind of more aware because of that. So I think it definitely plays a good role, but it can also play a bad role. So you've got companies that now will use social media for their greenwashing campaigns and say, we're so sustainable, look at us. But then, if you look under the hood, you see, oh my gosh, we're actually destroying this environment. Or, when you look at different like stuff that's happening just in your environment, where you are actually located, wherever it is that you are, have a look at what is companies doing. Are they actually saying, listen, we want to support this particular thing, but in actual fact they're doing something else? Like, make sure what they say is aligning to their actions as well.
Yeah. So, you kind of touched on this, but how can like artists and like art organizations effectively like address misinformation related to sustainability, like that's like related to like their art and like um or like maybe like their product or something, uh those issues like within their work and communications and like to the public also?
So I think that's a great thing. And I think, we, like, as artists, and because I'm currently furthering my studies as well, more a bit in environmental science, and there's a lot of miscommunication between the people that's actually doing the test in the field and people that is, getting all the information about what's happening, to our planet, to like, why are these planetary boundaries in place, etc. And then, you know, when it comes to like creatives and artists, and like we're not always speaking the same language. So when someone is you know, trying to explain something in like their scientific way, we're like, whoa, what is this? We're trying to take that and we're translating it into a more palatable like form, I would say, and then be able to communicate that to the people. So I would definitely say a collaboration is always the best. Like, and that goes for anything from product design, from like building design, everything from the artwork. Like, you know, it's not like the times where you went and you decided, oh, I'm going to design something and go do it all, and then think that that's going to be a success. Those times I feel has like gone. Like collaboration is definitely the key. You need to find out, you know, what is it that people want. Like, speak to people, ask them, what is your problems that you have with sustainability? Why are you finding this recycling an issue? Is it hard for you to separate different things? Kind of get that knowledge, then also collaborate with people that, you know, has got the scientific knowledge as well, and to find out, we've got these problems, how do we find solution? And then there's a really, really cool website as well, asknature.org. And like, you know, you can always ask questions there, like, how does nature recycle? How does, you know, nature paint? And then see, oh, you know, I actually can use these pigments from nature instead of going to the art store and buying toxic paints. So there's different ways how you can try and see to build that. So I definitely think it's collaboration, number one, and then doing some research and going out, talking to people, and then finding out what worked, what didn't work, what are we learning from, what are we improving for the next one as well. So yeah, so I think that's kind of, you know, how I see it. There other people might see it different, but I just feel like, you know, if we actually do that, we might achieve a lot more and reach more people to, you know, become more aware. Because obviously through my artwork, that's one of the core values that I feel, you know, I want to adhere to, is to raise awareness. And like, I know I can't do that on my own, and I need all these other people, because I'm trying to change systems, not just create beautiful artwork.
Yeah, for sure. So what would you say, like, for example, like me, I'm a high school student. So what do you think, what advice would you give me to like help combat like misinformation, and also like what's the best thing I can do to contribute positively to like the environment and like misinformation around that and sustainability, stuff like that?
Yeah, so when it comes to misinformation, obviously there's loads. And I always feel like, you know, you need to pick your battles. That's one thing that I've learned very easily on. I mean, if someone says something that is like totally like, it is, I know it is so like fake news, or, you know, it's not, there's no truth in that. Sometimes it's really about picking the battle. If that person is like a very angry person that, you know, is just gonna like suck out all of the energy like from you by addressing them to say, hey, you know, that information's not really correct. You know, depending on that, I might always just say, oh, okay, you know what, I'm not going to comment on that person saying no, check your facts or whatever, because that might just lead into something a little bit, you know, worse. And a great example was what happened with Greta Thunberg, and I can't even remember that guy's name that posted that terrible video about her, and he's now in jail. Just because, you know, he tried to do this whole fishing expedition. And that's what a lot of these people want. They want those likes, they want those interactions, and they are baiting you to give you those things. So I would definitely say pick your battles. If it is something that you feel passionate about, and you're willing to like give the energy to go in an argument with that, if that's you, you know, go for it. It's definitely not me. avoid arguments as far as I can, but I would take that as an opportunity and say, okay, well, this person has actually said that, so I might not directly reply to them, but I might take that information and say, if they said, oh, the sky is pink. Okay, the sky is sometimes pink. The sky is a different color, it's not. And I know the sky is blue. Then I might make a content about the sky is blue and kind of, put some real facts in there, facts that's actually been, verified and things, and make sure that, the people that would follow me or that I would give this to would get this information as well. So it's sometimes about counter doing what other people are doing if you want the right information to get out, because there will always be people that is saying all of these things, and it's not necessarily because they're passionate about it, it's not necessarily because they want to say all of these things. It's more that they want to be able to get that million followers, they want to be able to be on the whatever TV show or something. So you need to think about that as well. So it's not just about what they said now. And obviously, you've got the algorithms that's pumping all of this information as well. And you're just like, I have to post something every single day. Oh my goodness, I need to post something 5 times a day. So what type of content do you put in those 5 posts? Is it good content? Is it absolutely nonsense? Or is it a combination of both? So again, that goes back to what I said previously. Check where you're getting it from, your information. So as someone that is passionate about the environment, if you want to start out, just do the best that you can, and try to find, if you want to share information, make sure that information is actually correct. If you want to know more about that, there's also some great amazing programs like Lonely Whale's got high school programs for summer camps, which is fantastic. So they actually have some sections where they talk about social media and how can you make a difference in social media, because there's so many things that you can do. If you, again, going back to Greta Thunberg, she started out as a high school student, and the impact that she's made has been phenomenal. So I would definitely say, never think that you are too small to make a difference, because it doesn't matter whether you are in high school, you can make a difference. It's about what you want to do. And if you feel that you're passionate about the environment, you want to make a difference, within this space or within any other space, then go for it. Just don't make excuses that you're too young. Just go for it. Do you and make that difference, because in the end, we all only live once. We don't know, how long we are going to live for. And, if you can make a difference when you're in high school, that difference might be seen by so many people and actually make a difference in the world. And we need more people that is willing to step up and say, I want to make a difference. I want to be that change.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking towards the future, what trends or innovations do you believe will have the most significant impact on the intersection of art and environmentalism? And yeah, and also just how can we ensure that accurate information is I guess spread to the public about that and stuff.
Yeah. So I think I touched a bit on that. Obviously the sources and things is so important. And I think from sustainability, and especially with when it comes to the future as well, AI is becoming to play such a big not problem, but it is becoming such a big part of our life. Every time I I know my phone's going to go off if I say this, so I might just like shut her down. But if every time you say, okay, Google, or hey, Alexa, go do something or do this, we are kind of involving that. And now with Chat GPT, we can literally put in information and say, hey, can you type an essay about sustainability? And you don't necessarily know where she's getting all that information from. Like, someone could feed her all of this, like, articles from unreputable sources, and that's what you're getting. So now you are taking that and you putting it out in the world because you didn't do like your due diligence to like check where's the site, where's the sources, is it cited, is it actually reputable? So you start spreading more of this like fake news type of stuff out. So I think AI will be a blessing and a curse at the same time. So it can make us move faster, it can do stuff, but again, like, is it going to help us spread more like fake stuff as well? So that's one of the things that I think of the future we need to be wary of. And when it comes to art as well, there's been a lot of people complaining about AI in art because, if you look at Microsoft Edge, for example, if you want to insert images that is AI generated, you can literally say, I would like a unicorn in the sky, and it will give you an image that's AI generated with a unicorn in the sky. So I think, again, where are they getting that? Is that maybe other artist work that they are putting in there, and the artists are not getting the recognition for that? So there's a lot of stuff that's on there that's like, I'm all for AI being developed, but also we need to be cautious as a society. What are we using it for? And also, what data are they collecting from us whenever we use this type of thing? So I definitely think, with the future, there's so many possibilities that's happening. Just, even in the last 10, 20 years, there's been a lot of progress in things where we thought, like with, let's take, for example, Tesla. 20 years ago, Tesla was merely just an idea. Now it's literally revolutionized the way electric vehicles are seen, perceived, and also the amount of electric vehicles that's available on the roads. If it was not for Tesla, I'm not sure whether, we would have had so many other car companies jump in and say, Tesla's selling so much cars, we need to jump in and get our piece of the market. So I think, future innovations like that could really accelerate things for us as well. And, like, especially in the art sector, like now only there's becoming more like sustainable, like glues and paints and things that you can get. So, so I definitely think, there's going to be such a big progress towards that in the future as well.
Yeah, for sure. Last question, just for fun. What inspires you in life, whether that's like in the work that you're doing or just like in general? What are some like inspirations for you?
Yeah, so I get a lot of my inspiration from nature.
Mm-hmm.
I feel I literally have to, go outside and walk and, either sit on the tree, listen to the ocean or something. Because I find that really rejuvenates my like inner soul, give me peace, and also just makes me take a moment to like sit and relax and be like, what I'm doing, it's not just for me, it's actually so that other people can, sit on this beach in 200 years time, and it will look either like it's looking now or better, just because of the work that I'm doing. So I definitely get my inspiration from that. And just knowing that, you kind of make a difference when you see the work that you've been doing and people are saying, I've actually changed this, or, I saw one of your artworks and that inspired me to actually go plastic free. Or so yeah, it's really quite an interesting one, but definitely nature. And I feel, if we don't know what we're protecting, it's really hard to kind of make that connection. So I definitely think, you know, for everyone to be able to go out, spend time in nature and really observe stuff, you know, whether it is that you can probably see all my birds here at the back. I'm trying to learn a new bird species every single week because I feel how often do we just go for a walk and we see all of these birds and you're like, oh, bird, you know, but that bird has a name, it's got a sound, it's got this, it's got that, it sometimes migrates. So like it's really interesting for me to now dig it a little bit deeper because obviously I'm not from Australia, so I don't know all the Australian birds as I would have the South African ones. So so yeah, definitely if you or go to new parks, like, you know, I just recently discovered there's so many parks like in our walking distance from our house that I never knew about. So, you know, go explore a new park and really sit in nature, see what birds they are, what trees they are, what's happening and how nature is doing stuff. Observe that and just like kind of appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Um, all right. I think that's all my questions for the day for today.
Oh, no worries.
Thank you for your time and for this. I had a lot of fun and learned a lot, so thank you.
Cool, no worries. And yeah, if there's ever anything, just let me know.
All right, take care.
You too. Bye. Bye.